We've heard the saying, a man's house is his castle. It is his domain, and he rules over that domain. Or at least he's supposed to. A man beginning a household and not having supreme rule over it is not harmless. It is a societal hazard for that man to not have authority in his own household. It is a net negative for everyone, including the woman seeking to usurp the man's authority. The wife is merely an extension of the husband. When she feels she needs to go her own way and distinguish herself from her husband, this needs to be seen for what it is. It's insubordination and a breach of authority. If a woman wants to do her own thing apart from a man, she needs to be on her own. When she decided to get married, she agreed to set all that aside to be with this man. The problem is some men, or rather most men, allow women to have this leeway to do their own thing alongside them. As I told you before, if you want to corrupt a woman and make her evil, give her power. An example of this has been Steph Curry's dealings with his wife, a woman who has done things to disrespect her marriage and family, such as stating a desire to have male attention outside of her husband, and a display disregarding her marriage vows in playing at taking off her wedding ring in the presence of a male stripper. Many men today equate a woman's willingness to have sex with them as love and devotion. Even their desire to have children with them is just sex. It doesn't mean anything. Women don't care about children beyond their connection to the man. Kids are used to get their hooks deep into a man through the court system. A woman by nature uses her sexuality to get what she wants, and children as a way to get access to a man's finances for the next 20 years. It's what sex work is all about. Many women in marriages today are doing nothing more than white-collar sex work. They didn't get with you because they like you or think you're great. They got with you because of what you had. There was something you had which they wanted access to, and the only way to get it is to attach themselves to you through sex and childbearing. Men like to buy fancy cars and do things to show off their wealth in order to get female attention. This is not a good idea, as you're not making yourself valuable. You're making yourself a mark. The women who are giving you attention are not seeing you as someone whose very presence they value. They see someone who they can get something from and will use sex to break the lock. Men will take this, as it gives them the sexual access they never would have gotten otherwise. This is what leads to grossly disrespectful relationships, is what Steph Curry has. Whether it's Steph Curry, Russell Wilson, Will Smith, or Travis Hunter, money will get you plenty of attention, but it won't get you any respect. This is why you should never make money a goal. Money is not a goal. It is a result of making yourself valuable to the world. Truth be told, most of these celebrity entertainers and athletes are lames. They just so happen to be blessed at doing a thing which earns a lot of money. They can play a sport, they can act, they can do stand-up, whatever entertainment avenue they happen to be inclined to. Beyond that ability, however, they have nothing. That one thing allows them to be famous and earn a ton of money, so the attention comes. If you're just someone looking to lay up with a bunch of women, you can make such a situation work. As we know, these men look to be in relationships with these women. These men are not fit for that. It doesn't matter how wealthy you are. You have too many deficiencies apart from your talent, which gives you access to wealth. You've not completed yourself as a man. You're a wealthy beta, and the women see this and are treating you accordingly. Beta refers to something not yet ready for mass production. Some equate beta male to being weak. This is inaccurate. It means you're incomplete. Your development is not finished. You need more time in the oven. Wealth is overrated. Figuring out your financial situation is only part of the equation. Regardless of where you are in life, there's no excuse for walking into a bad situation. In terms of romantic relationships, you need to have your life together to get a good deal. However, you do not need to have your life together to not take a bad deal. Many of us have been lied to by everyone in our lives, and we're operating on the knowledge and wisdom we've been given. We don't see the difference between being sought after and being targeted, and we take bad deals for immediate access to sex. We've been told we need to settle for bad deals and not expect more because of where we are in life. An ill-fated marriage and children later, you're now trapped in a situation which was bad from the start, and there's a system set up to ruin your life if you try to get out. Steph, Will, Russ, and Travis may not be aware of their situation and not have the knowledge of how to get out. They believe if they bow and scrape to their women, that will make the situation better. They will, in fact, be pouring gasoline on the fire because the women are treating them the way they are because they see them as weak and conquerable. Bowing their head lower will only exacerbate the situation. What they need to do is take back authority and demand respect and obedience from their wives. This action can go two ways. It could, possibly, make the women more resentful and cause them to go through the courts to financially ruin these men in an attempt to separate from them. It could also bring harmony to the relationship, as these women see these men developing a spine and demanding to be respected in their own household. Believe it or not, women want a man who will lead and demand respect, but it's not something a man should look for a woman to give him. He must take it. The obvious question comes, how do you do that? No aggression, tyranny, or violence required. You simply set ground rules for how a woman will treat you, and you stand on those rules. If she doesn't abide by these rules, have a nice life. There is great power in recognizing a bad deal and walking away from the table. Such may be too much of an ask for those men who've gone through their entire lives and have had significant career success living a certain way. Asking them to change at this point could be too much. They are a cautionary tale about not fully developing yourself as a man and not demanding to be respected as a man. Respect is earned, but disrespect is forbidden. It doesn't matter where you are in life. Disrespect cannot be tolerated. No one is required to respect you, but none can ever be allowed to disrespect you. Outward disrespect must always come with a price. If someone can't treat you with respect, then they'd better leave you alone. Steph Curry has built a life with a woman who sees him as merely a stepping stone to her own ambitions. He's a means to an end for her. The closer she gets to where she wants to be, the nastier she will become towards Steph, and she will ultimately toss him to the side. She remains with him because Steph still serves a purpose for her, which has nothing to do with her believing Steph is an amazing person to be with. Steph, Will, Russell, and Travis are all in what I call extractionary relationships. They're useful until they're not, where the woman will then walk away taking half of what these men built, long before these women ever showed up. Don't connect yourself to a woman who will not obey you. If she thinks no man can tell her anything, that's perfectly fine. She must be made to be on her own, where this will be true. A man can't tell you anything if he's not there. These aspiring boss bees need to understand that vagina comes in value packs of 100. A man who builds, produces, and creates is a unicorn. A woman needs a man. A man needs a purpose. A woman who won't obey you is a woman who doesn't like you. Don't argue and go back and forth with her. Simply send her on her way to either find a man she will obey or be on her own. Don't feel like you have to get that one girl. There are many beautiful women on planet Earth. There are no soulmates. There's no such thing as this one woman on planet Earth who was made just for you. When the Most High gave Rebekah to Isaac after Isaac's servant prayed for a wife for him, Rebekah wasn't the one. She was merely a one. Moses had multiple wives who were faithful to him. Did he have multiple soulmates? Did Gideon have many children with his many soulmates? It's true there's someone for everyone, just as there's some job for everyone. It doesn't mean you'll like it. In fact, you'll most likely hate it. We as men must expect and demand more for ourselves, because we are the ones who built civilization. And women were made for our benefit, not the other way around. I only wish the best for these men, which is to bring their wives under submission, or let them achieve their personal ambitions on their own. We'll see if these women can reach their goals without their husbands, as their husbands reach their goals without them. Some would say I'm advocating for the breakup of families, black families no less. These families are already broken. It is a bad thing for the children to see their father not being the leader of the household and not being respected as he should be. A boy needs to have an example of manhood which he can emulate, and a girl needs to know what a man is and how he moves so she can know what to look for in a suitor. A woman will not accept a male who can't lead, and a man will not accept a female who thinks she should run everything. These are the types of children that will be raised in that household with that relationship dynamic. There are a million self-help books about this type of relationship, and all of them are useless. This relationship is a lemon. You can't fix it. You are swindled into taking a bad deal. Unless the so-called relationship guru is telling you how to get out of the situation cleanly, they're not helping you. Don't waste your time reading books on how to chase good money after bad. The baby boomer generation was not the golden age of marriage and children. Your dad had a job at the auto plant. The cost of living was dirt cheap. Your dad was average, but the auto plant, in a favorable economy, gave him a bag. Your mom latched on to get the bag. Your mom didn't like your dad either. You've heard people refer to getting married as getting hitched. Women back in that day found men who worked these plant jobs and hitched themselves to the bag. Divorce rates were significantly lower because women had less economic opportunities. There were just as many complaints about women in marriage back then as there are now, but women endured these marriages because it was their one and only golden ticket. Marriage and family are a wonderful thing everyone should aspire to. I will continue to say this because it's the truth. We, on the other hand, are not. Like a child holding a loaded gun, or a dog getting behind the wheel of a car. Getting into a marriage unprepared can only have a catastrophic outcome.